Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Austria 2020. There were a lot of us on the grid. It was fantastic. We even had a Mr. Mystery, as we might call him, who was extremely quick, who joined us for the first time. But, as you can see, what we're starting from here is a little bit of a wet race. And hold the clutch. Let's see where we're going to go. It's going to be tricky. I make a very poor start. Dave makes a super start. Harry is up ahead, Mr. Mystery and Sam. And what's going to happen here is you're going to see Craig and John. Welcome back, John, already braking late into the first turn. And it's all got a bit action-packed there. He's gone a little wide. I've got Craig just nudging me from behind. Dave in the Ferrari is up there, but John's compromised his exit. And that gives me the chance to swing out and get past. And then let's get going. So, we've got Disney Dave a little further back. Ken's in here. We've got Rob, and we've got Craig, as I said. You saw him there, and that's John coming up a last dash into the corner. Last minute attempt, but we're still wide. But we'll get back on the track, and as John cuts across, I thought quite choppy there across Craig. But we're settling down now at the end of lap 1, and Dave has a moment out onto the greasy stuff, and I move up. So P4. So I've actually moved a little bit of ground from my grid position by this stage. Things aren't going too bad at all. Dave's behind, but where's the grip? Well, it's out there somewhere. So, lap 2, P4, and it's gone very wobbly. It's still very slippery. That gives me quite a scare. But Dave closes up, but fortunately I had enough of a gap to keep him there. I can actually still see Harry, as you can see. This is lap 5. I can still see Harry. Harry's up ahead. And as we go into the first corner, and a bit of a drift, but I'm keeping Dave behind, and I'm looking up at Harry ahead. Up at the front, Mr. Mystery and Samir are away. Lap 8, and I'm still chasing Harry, still drifting it slightly through, but the weather's drying up. I've got a little bit of a gap for seconds, you can see Dave, but let's stay out, I'm thinking. Until now, the virtual safety car is deployed, and you'll notice that some people have pitted, so Mr. Mystery's right behind me now, and the virtual safety car comes in, and it's time for me to pit out and get my tyres, letting the rest of them go. So Harry's was up ahead of me at this point, and as I come out, and I've got Disney Dave, who's on a slightly different strategy at this point, and Dave, I'm not quite, my tyres are cold, and we both go a bit wide. Dave comes back onto the track, and well, he's still going pretty fast. You'll notice I'm not actually racing him for position, but down we go to the next corner. My tyres are a little cold. His tyres, well, they're a little covered in grass at that point. So I get past Disney Dave there. P4 at this point. You can see the racing up ahead, lap 11, and into the pits goes someone. I think that's probably Dave. I've got a little wide, very excited, and I'm keeping going. John, as you can see, the return of John, he's behind me on track. In fact, Dave's still up ahead, Guna Dave. And as we come back here, what you'll notice is I've realised that John's around, and John's back. There he is, all four wheels on the inside. A bit bold, possibly, John, a bit bold. But yeah, we both get away with that, and off we go again. A little later on, I'm still chasing after Guna Dave. He's got the fastest lap, as you can see at this point, I think. And there goes John, this time nice and clean. Squeezes by. And I'm on the hards at this point, so I'm thinking, well, John's ahead, he's on a different tyre strategy, and Harry came from nowhere. I had no idea he was even behind me at this point. Lap 13, and Harry's straight past. As you can see, Harry's on mediums. I'm not sure whether he's thinking of going to the end or not. I'm hoping he's not, because I definitely can. Harry goes to the inside. Oh, it's tough racing between Harry and John. I think they made a little bit of wheel banging contact there. I think I'll just hang around here and see what happens. Disney Dave's disqualified. Oh, Disney Dave. Don't quite know what happened there. You have to tell us the true story in your memoirs. So, a little later on, as you can still see, that's John looking up the inside. For John, turn 2 is a fantastic opportunity, and Disney Dave left the session. But look up ahead, and again, these guys are going to go at it. There's a John goes to the inside. There's some contact. John goes round, and I've got back ahead, and Harry's still inside. I'm losing a bit of ground to him, as I say. I'm not sure whether he's going to the end on these tires or not. John's behind me somewhere. It's lap 16 and lap 17, and now Harry's up ahead again. There's some yellow flags, but I'm watching the gaps and making hopefully the best use of my tyres. So let's keep going. P4, lap 19. Harry is edging away. Just you can see the gap extending a little bit there, but my tyres are fine if I look after them. Magnussen didn't help me by coming left again. Bumped into me. What was he doing? Who knows? However, that wasn't to be the last of the problems with back markers, I don't think. Now I've got Dave. Gooner Dave's behind me, and immediately ahead of me there's bits of car. Immediately ahead of me there is the mystery. I don't know whether he's pitting again or not.
In front is 19.4 seconds.
Quick, so I'm not sure I'll see him. Off we go. I've got Harry now behind me. Harry, as you can see, he's on softs, so he's on a different strategy. And Harry's out. He's out now. Sadly, we lost Harry at this point. I don't know quite what happened to him. There you go. Again, Harry would have to tell you in his own words. And it's catch the safety car queue. It's lap 27. What's going on? The man immediately ahead of me, apparently in order, is Mr. Mystery. Dave's behind me. Dave's on much softer tyres than me, so I'm a little bit concerned. And off we go racing. Sam is now the man immediately ahead of me in positions, but we lost John. John's had some kind of incident, so sad to see John go there.
Let's push.
Good to have him back though. Up ahead, I'm watching the racing. You can see that Ollie, who's being lapped, had a little bit of a problem with Grosjean, and I'm in a Ferrari sandwich. So that's Harry out the race. We lost John, but I'm faced with Dave behind me and his teammate ahead, immediately on track, although blue flag. But Ollie's not slow until he finally, lap 31, lets me go. So what can I do? I'm out to the end on these tyres.
Full course caution.
We lost
the
10.
safety car is out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it
Lap
positive
32.
to avoid a penalty.
Don't really need a safety
Slow
car.
down.
I
Maintain
managed to
positive
get a bit of a
delta.
gap, and Ollie's keen to get on with it. So although we're supposed to be watching our deltas, Ollie's virtually pushing me along at this stage. So back under the safety car for a last blast. I've got a nudge there from Ollie as we're all waiting to go. As you can see, Samir is immediately ahead of me on track and on position, and Mr. Mystery leads, and he bunched us all up. Very slowly we're going, and away we go. And you can see, in fact, we're James now immediately behind us. I think Dave had to make an extra pit stop, probably because of he was on soft tyres at one stage. So I've got James behind me. James has probably moved his way up fairly unobtrusively as we go on to lap 35, and it's all about to go technically a bit wrong for me. This is no steering. No steering. Oh, I've lost my nose. So it's lap 35. What can I do? Well, the short answer
We
is
have to replace that front wing.
with
Box
no
now.
nose, it's all very difficult. So I'm just booting it around the corners, get some wheel spin out in order to rotate the car, but it's time to let them go as I go off, and there we go. Ollie's through. James and Craig go, and Dave will also rush by. So Dave is well, third on the road at that point, but because of penalties I wind up third. Sam is second. Congratulations to Mr. Mystery. Well done to Dave, we got through to 4th. Nice to have James moving up through the field. I don't know where he came from and how he did it, but he did. Craig was just behind him, and then Rob comes in at 9th after keeping enough bits on his car to make it through to the finish without too much difficulty. I think he's only got a few penalties there as well. And further down, of course, we lost Ken, and we lost Harry, we lost John, sad to see them, and we lost Disney Dave, but it was fantastic to have everybody there. Really enjoyed that, and hopefully you did too. Who knows or who we'll have for next time, but I'm really hoping that we get a nice full grid again. You'll notice the number of pit stops and penalties vary quite widely person to person, and that gives you just an idea of how much action there was in that race. It was very confusing. If you could make sense of it, then you were probably doing better than I was through much of that race, when I was just struggling to work out who I was really racing with. But anyway, it was good to have everyone there. This game, well, possibly more later. Thank you very much.